All right, good morning everyone. So before me you see a bunch of balisong cases, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today, is balisong cases and ways to store your balisongs. Of course, what case you're going to want is it's going to highly depend on how many balisongs you have in your collection. I have a bunch of options before me, and I'll talk about some other ones as well. These are all types of cases that I've used as my collection has grown. To start off, there's of course like these sort of nice little sheaths or small hard cases or like pouches that hold one knife. And a lot of times balisongs will just come in these, right? So you can just have one knife in there. It's nice and padded. It holds one balisong great. Sometimes to this day I'll use these if I'm like throwing a really nice knife in my backpack, or I'm traveling with a knife that I want to keep protected. So I'll throw one of these into my checked luggage and use it like that. But as far as like transporting like for a meetup or to go film somewhere, I'm never really going to use something like this because it really only holds one balisong. But these are very nice to have. I wouldn't say like go spend money on one of these because you'll get them just from buying knives here and there, but it is really nice to have something like that. Next we've got this little BRS case and then a ballast case, which everyone should have, like either or both of these. Like the BRS case can hold two very comfortably, and you can also like push your knives together and push them to the edge and fit a third one here. It closes like that and then zips up. Sometimes they'll wiggle around a little bit, but this case keeps them protected pretty well. And I've found that I use these a lot for when I'm going someplace to film with someone, or I just want to carry a few balisongs around with me, because it can hold up to 3 and it's nice and small, and keeps your knives protected. The same thing goes for the Nabalis case, but this one is probably a bit nicer because it has 3 designated slots, so you can actually hold 3 and they won't bang into each other at all. This probably keeps your knives a bit better protected. Both of these come, like this comes with whenever you buy a Nabalis balisong, one of like a little bit more expensive ones. I know the Volt Pro comes in one of these, but the Volp does not. I think the Hydra and the Trident come in this. I'm not exactly sure, but it's a cool case to have, and it's also got these little slots for like the tube of oil that it comes with, and a bit of Loctite, and maybe you could put a tiny little Torx driver in there as well. Both of these are great just for carrying balisongs around. It's important to invest in like a bit nicer and bigger of a case, especially once you get to having like more than 5 balisongs, because you know balisongs are not cheap and you're going to be spending quite a bit of money on them once you get deep into the hobby. So that's when you go to pick up something like this. This is actually a watch case. So this is an 8-slot watch case that I bought off of Amazon. I have 2 of these. I've used these for a really long time. This is what I used up until like just like a week ago when I got this big case. So this can hold 8 balisongs. Like I said, it's meant for watches, but balisongs actually fit extremely well into here. I kind of just like put the tang in like that and then shove down the ends of the handles, and then you've even got like little finger slots here that you can use to pick it up out of the case. And you can also see there's like little straps, so if you've got a shorter knife like a 51 or something, that maybe when you put it in it would fall out. If you turn the case upside down, you can slide it under the strap to secure it better. These are pretty cheap off of Amazon. I think I got each of these for like $20 or $30, which is pretty good for an 8-slot knife case. And they last a little while. This one, it's been at least 2 years since I bought it, and it still looks pretty great. The only issue this one has is this backing here has kind of come off. So I've taped it down, but it still isn't flush to the case anymore. It's not the most long-lasting thing, but it worked for me for a really long time. My other one is kind of falling apart, but I've had that for who knows how long, maybe 4 or 5 years. There's also like a BRS vault case. That would also be another great option for having like 5 to 8 balisongs. I think a vault case can hold like 10 balisongs if you fill it up completely. So that's a really good number. And vault cases are great. They're modular, so you can put like the Velcro storage spaces in, hold your oil, your Torx drivers, band-aids, whatever else you might need inside of a balisong case. There's got to be some other cases like the Jerry Hom 8-slot leather wrap case. I don't know how expensive that is. I'm also not sure how expensive a vault case is. I would guess $60-ish. I'll put the prices up here for each of those cases, but yeah, something like this you'll get with a knife, this with Navalis, this with VRS, although they might not do these anymore. You can buy them off the website though for pretty cheap. These are like $20-30 off of Amazon. The main reason I'm making this video is to show off this massive case. I got this for Christmas from Harbor Freight, and it's just like it's one of their larger hard cases filled with perforated foam. And as my collection has grown to about 30 balisongs, something like this doesn't really cut it for storing my knives. I'll probably leave this at home and still bring this to school. This thing costed $60, so that's crazy cheap. It's basically like a Pelican case, and I'll talk about those as well. Pretty much perfect for anyone with a larger collection. It comes with this perforated foam, so like to customize it, you basically just like pull these apart and then rip out the foam cubes. It has 2 layers of these, so like you can see, like this is one layer, there's another layer under that, and then there's a layer of foam, just like a flat layer of foam under that, and then this top eggshell piece of foam. So right now I've got this holding 36 balisongs, and of course I could do more down the middle, more here. I think with the layout I've got, it would take 63. Hopefully my collection never gets that big. That would cost a lot of money, but we're kind of headed that way. But you can see, like, I've just pulled out 2 cubes wide for each knife, and they don't fit like fully snug. You can see they kind of wiggle around. Some of them fit fully snug, a bigger knife like this, but they fit extremely well. And then once you actually close the lid on them, you can see, like, when I just shut it a little bit, there's still room here, and when you push this foam down on top of it, those aren't going to move anywhere. And this thing is weather sealed and impact resistant. It's a great case, and I've talked to a few people who have had one of these for almost 2 years and have been storing a lot of balisongs in them, and he says it's held up great. So yeah, my only concern would be the perforated foam falling apart, but I think as long as you consistently store however much space you've allocated, it'll hold together pretty well. But we'll see, I guess, as I use this more. There's also like Will Hirsch makes custom cases. I know he has a whole video about custom foam and cases for your balisongs, but they're so expensive. His 38 slot balisong case, which, you know, you can store more balisongs in here than 38. That thing costs like $450, which, like, I understand because it's a Pelican case. Pelican cases are just more expensive than these Harbor Freight Apache cases, and the foam is like custom cut instead of being perforated. It did take me quite a while, like probably close to an hour, to individually pick out all of these foam for this layer and the layer below. But I mean, you know, an hour for a $60 case as opposed to a $450 case, I think it's a no-brainer. I think this thing is great value, and I do think it's important to get cases for your balisongs, because, you know, your balisongs are expensive. Even like a cheap balisong, like a Kraken, costs over $200 retail. So yeah, you definitely want a nice case to protect your balisongs, and it's also it's really satisfying having something like this. Helps me like keep track of my collection better, and it's honestly a nice display of having all the ends of the handles up, and I can just easily grab any knife I want just like that. So this is a great case. But yeah, get cases for your balisongs. I'm sure there's ones that I've missed, but for those of you with a larger collection, I would definitely recommend this one. Yeah, that's about all I've got to say. Thank you for watching, and if I missed anything, let me know in the comments.